This is another episode of Just Answering Questions. This will be a comment that was left on my channel. There's 10 of them. Warning. Me repeating someone else's comment and responding to it doesn't mean I'm endorsing it. Next, in most of the comments I get, it's either a person genuinely asking a question and I'm answering it, which again doesn't mean I'm endorsing something that they're saying. It also doesn't mean that I'm endorsing something that's false or misinformation, but I get accused of it. And YouTube is not going to let me be able to follow these rules because they keep accusing me of shit that I can't possibly have done. Me telling you how to use a thermometer isn't misinformation on time travel. I'm not even sure how the fuck that happened, but let's move on. But some of the videos that I'm just answering a question, the name for this video series is based on people lying about asking a question genuinely. They're just making an assertion, sticking question marks randomly, and I address it as a real question, almost mockingly. I'm just answering your question. Why are you criticizing me for answering you? The reason they do it is by forming it in a question, they think they have a right to say you don't have the right to interpret what I'm saying or ask me or explain or respond. It's a trick. But anyway, today's comment set is so badly parsed with bad grammar, spelling, and punctuation and sentence structure, I don't think that I have the ability to be flagged for it because it doesn't make internal sense. Normally, commentary doesn't interrupt itself. Normally, a question doesn't include assertions and questions that fold on each other, or ambiguous statements that actually make it impossible to interpret what they meant by not just doing double negatives, but a stack of them. Here we go. Well, now you just met your match. I am now watching the video of the other channel you criticized. I was critiquing a YouTube channel for reposting a bunch of stuff that's been debunked. I'll get to that at the end of the video. Normally I do the useful part at the beginning, but this is such a mess I got to do it first now. I don't have a choice. I'm on my 12th take. This is hard to read, by the way. Really. What he is saying on the other channel make a whole hell of a lot more sense to me. You'll have to read the below to figure out what this is, and I'll include the unedited version. Now, I don't know if you don't like anyone. Grammatically speaking, you're not. I don't know you for worth shit. For you to try to call someone out without any proof of facts of your claim that the other channel mentor and the other guy scheme, and then the sentence ends. So what is my claim about the other channel's mentor that they're requoting or reposting a story from? I mean, a name of a channel was mentioned. A name of the mentor that channel was espousing is mentioned, but it doesn't matter. In this comment, the person is avoiding mentioning what I'm talking about, what the other person's talking about, as much as possible. Let's continue. Then the person interrupts themselves and says, by the way, are you willing to pay as much tax? How much are you willing to give up your hard-earned cash flow? I'd be willing to give up the flow to where I just get money, but I don't have to pay it out. Flow isn't the same as the cash coming in. Income? Before you say I shouldn't be critiquing the person because this is a second language to them and they don't understand English, this is a person critiquing me for getting mad at people using a torqued up version of grammar, spelling, punctuation, sentence structure, and parsing that doesn't work. And this person is actually trying to use it while talking to me. So at this point, it's not that that English is a second language. At this point, they could have been born and bred in Nebraska, and this might be the same effect, because the method espoused by the channel I was critiquing originally is to take language and just run it through a blender. I'm going to continue watching this video, yours, and seeing what else you got to say, because in all fairness, if you don't believe in God, then I say you are a hater of God. I love God, and I believe in Him, and what the other channel is saying. So you're equating me with being a hater of God, and you're saying you believe in God and also believe in the other channel, and my entire video is about the fact that you can very easily look up that the things that are said in that channel are not true. It's not that they're lying, at least not necessarily, and that they're repeating the words or phrases or teachings of two people who, again, said things that weren't true. And at the time, you could say easily that they just made a mistake. But the trouble is, once it was pointed out that if they use their methodology for reinterpreting grammar, spelling, definitions, and punctuations in such a way that they could make a parking ticket law invalid, it was pointed out that it would also make the other parking ticket law valid in another city. So they would adjust the algorithm or methodology they did for destroying laws. Okay, but if we apply any of these methods to the Second Amendment, it also destroys it too. And they said, well, you're not allowed to do that because I said so. It basically amounted to them creating some method that would screw up laws a certain way, like the letters add up to a certain number that's bad. Stuff like that. Or I'm just going to interpret the words and definitions differently. Okay, but if we apply the rule equally and fairly and balanced, you end up destroying the Constitution. And when that was pointed out to them, they were booed. The person who said it was booed out of the room, or told to shut up, or just blocked on the internet. These people would have you go to seminars and spend money while they sat there for hours and hours and hours, not explaining to you exactly how to do this. Just like a person selling a perpetual motion machine, but not telling you you have to hide a battery in the flywheel. But it's just ballast. It's not like it's driving the electric motor. They leave out the part that makes it work. When I critique a perpetual motion person, they'll immediately claim to be a good Christian. How dare you critique me? I'm just asking questions and every other trope possible, and then do a gish gallop and then start accusing me of shit that inevitably they're guilty of. Because they have a really odd habit and really bad luck of always accusing people, this type of person, not necessarily a specific person, Hope Girl, accusing people of shit that eventually they get convicted of. In fact, whenever you make an accusation of a particular variety we're not allowed to discuss on this channel, and make it very specific and have lots of details in it, people get those details from somewhere, and if you don't have evidence against somebody, it's logical to assume that maybe this is your personal experience, maybe something bad was done to you, which is in one case, I should mention, or you're guilty of it, and you got locked up for it. And it's not just conservatives, by the way. There are liberals doing the same thing. Anybody who accuses somebody of something that they're not willing to provide at least some explanation for, they might be guilty of it. Not always, obviously. They may just be saying something bad happened to me in the past, and I'm quoting that back. That's happened too. They just assume everybody's guilty of whatever was done to them. But sometimes they're accusing you of shit they've done or are going to do. And it's so fucking consistent. And they always claim, oh, you can't touch my conversational ability and say I'm a bad person because I'm a Christian or some other thing, or I'm a liberal or whatever. Everybody virtue signals, okay? But anyway, let's go on with this person's commentary. The other channel makes a lot more sense. I mean, hell, remember that famous video of Bush Jr., Jeb Bush, are those the same person? Got a little note, and Jeb looked like he was sick to his stomach. Yeah, God wins and evil doesn't. If you're not aware of it, I don't know which Bush you're referring to at this point, honestly, because all of them have at least one video where they have a sick to the stomach look on their face, after receiving some sort of message about something that just happened. And if you're referring to the one I think you're referring to, you're interpreting it so that you can say God wins. What about God wins rule? Okay, let's move on. At 1 minute into the video, he says, a little bit over it, like a Q drop. Oh, wow, like, lol, you're very skeptical. How nice. Let's put it to you this way, dude. I don't like liars. Nobody does. Well, you do. You're following one. That's a double entendre. Don't subscribe to my channel and call me a liar and don't like... Anyway. But he's also subscribed to the other persons. I'm not sure what's going on here. Yeah, you're showing your subscriptions. Hide them, please. Anyway, I don't like anyone who mock someone else without knowing the person in real life. But apparently you're giving yourself an exception. Next, how am I supposed to so the only time you can critique somebody's video where they repeat something that isn't true, and they've been told it's not true and shown it's not true, and they're just ignoring it, at that point they're bordering on lying or they are lying. I'm not allowed to critique them unless I know them personally. Do we have to be bed buddies or something? I don't get this. I'm not that kind of boy. So let's move on. Okay, I'm done with you. Good, goodbye. 3-minute mark here, he says. For you to keep bashing someone and talking shit about someone you're trying to make your point across is not working for me. Bye, hater. But you said I'm a hater no matter what if I don't follow your religion or join it. Did you ever watch the full video of what the other channel was saying? Unfortunately, yes, I did. I put in the effort to do so. He's not saying anything new. This is shit that's been proven not true. I don't care if he says it convincingly. Santa Claus isn't real, and that's it. Here you go. You're welcome, jerk. But again, you don't know me. We've never met in person, so you're not supposed to do this. God have mercy on your soul, bashing someone and talking shit when you've never met them. God wins, you don't. So now we're casting me as, what was that joke? Did you fall from heaven? Are you calling me Lucifer? So you're casting me as opposing God somehow. Okay? Why would God oppose me? I'm a peon. Nobody cares. I won't join your religion, period, full stop. Punishing me or saying I deserve to be punished or killed or whatever you might say later because I won't join your religion is the reason people like you make your religion look bad. Every religion teaches their followers not to do this. Well, most of them. There's a couple I'm not allowed to discuss, Islam, that says otherwise, overtly, over and over again. But, well, actually, all religions did that. Come on. They're just a little behind. Maybe 100 years. Anyway, the video will include Warcastle and David Windmiller and Russell J. Gould and Robert Leroy Horton and quantum grammar, parse, and performance, because I feel like putting in, because I think that's a funny word to put in with these guys, because they think they have performance issues. Maybe I'll put that in the video title. The average person who comments on this stuff usually makes a specific claim that's based on their teachings. Or, in this case, a video I put up about Horton reposting these ideas and adding a little to it and not providing any evidence. They'll post comments that they don't like what I'm saying. But at least they cover the subject. Instead of saying, essentially, I don't like you because you're criticizing someone you've never met, and you won't join my religion, so I'm going to call you names. And doing it while doing poor performance of grammar and parsing and spelling and punctuation and dangling participles and apparently ending stuff like a candle jack and not explaining your comments, your comments or explaining why we should listen to you. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And yeah, that's the best I can do with parsing this grammar Nazi. Bye.